Yes, lads, today we're catching up with Jackson Bings, the Dandenong Stingray, and the Vic Country superstar who is an endurance machine. Not only that, he's a bowl magnet and he's a great guy. And what is more exciting is he's going to be around Carlton's second pick. Enjoy the interview.
But first,
an ad.
Sponsors of today's channel are Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, and their products are precision engineered to look after the most important jewels in your house, your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package is an absolute game changer, and it's the ultimate in men's hygiene. Join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and I've got an exclusive offer for you. 20% off, free worldwide shipping if you use the code POMMY at manscaped.com at the checkout. And if my maths is correct, that's around 14 million balls that they service. Time to throw out your razor. Performance Package 4.0 is, like I say, a game changer. You want to take your on-ball game to the next level, Manscaped will help you out. And I've got to say, the boxers that with their anti-chafing technology are the comfiest things I have put my pert little behind on. Click the link, get 20% off and free shipping with code POMMY, that's POMMY, at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping anywhere in the world. Unlock your confidence and use the right tools from the job and take your on-ball game to the next level.
Back to you in the studio.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final one-on-one with an IFL draftee. And a few of the draftees have talked about this gentleman. We've got Dandenong Stingrays. We've got Vic Country. He plays with his own football the majority of the time. He finds it that much. We've got the great Jackson Bins. How you doing, mate?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's our pleasure. A few of them have mentioned you by name, so you come with a great fanfare.
Yes.
Now, we're 24 hours out from the IFL draft. How are the nerves holding up just the night before?
Yeah, so it's it's a bit of mixed emotions between a bit of nerves and excitement. But I most likely will have an extra night to wait with the second round of the draft and all that on from the Tuesday. But it'll definitely start to kick in tomorrow when I start to watch the first round. That it's getting pretty exciting and it's pretty close now. So yeah, very exciting.
Are you having one of them draft watch-along parties? Are we going to see the camera zoom in with the family and friends?
I'll just have my family, just my close family. My girlfriend will come around. But hopefully if I do get drafted, then I think a fair few family and friends will come across and we'll celebrate that night.
Mate, it should be a good time, and we're looking forward to hearing your name called maybe on day 2, hopefully early doors day 2, so you can enjoy the rest of the draft.
Yes, hopefully.
Now, how has the off-season been? Obviously, you wrapped up with the football. What have you been doing to keep busy and try and keep your mind off things?
I had a pretty good break after that last Metro Country game in the combine. I had a pretty good break just to let my body recover and reset myself, and then I got back into training, and then obviously we had a pretty hectic time with exams and all that going on, so I've been keeping pretty busy, but just mostly just training and hanging around with friends to keep busy because it's pretty nerve-wracking time, so to keep busy is the best thing for me to keep it away.
Now, you talked about keeping busy. Obviously, the Victorians were kind of at a bit of a disadvantage going into this draft because you talked to draftees years gone by. They say under 16s and under 17s were their most important years to build the foundations for their draft year. Obviously, we had COVID. So how did you negate the lockdown? And literally, we had a year of no football for some of you.
I think obviously it was pretty disappointing to not have any footy on anything like that, and obviously you want to play, but it was probably nearly a blessing in disguise for me because that was where I probably started to get my running capacity up to the elite level, just because there was nothing really else to do, and I was just getting out and doing as much running as I can. So that was almost helped me a little bit because I don't think if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have probably ran as much. But yeah, obviously it was still very disappointing that we didn't get to play many games or any games at all in 2020, and then not many last year. But yeah, it was yeah, it's all worked out here, and hopefully still get my name called out in a couple nights' time.
Now, I mean, the good news for Poms out there like myself is it's one less Australians going to be playing cricket because rumours are you are also a handy cricketer. How is that having something just a bit different to break up probably the monotony of football? Is that helped you as well, having two things to focus on so you can have a bit of a release?
Oh yeah, I did really enjoy my cricket along the years, and I've been pretty happy with the level that I've got to with my cricket as well. But yeah, it has been something to keep my mind off footy in the last couple of years. Obviously, it does interrupt my pre-seasons and stuff like that, so I probably haven't had the best run at some pre-seasons due to cricket commitments. But yeah, I did love both my footy and cricket, so has been something that I've really enjoyed growing up, and I still really enjoy getting down to watch it. But obviously, haven't been able to play this year. Just yeah, I've made the choice to pursue my footy, so hopefully that all works out.
Mate, as a Pom, one less Australian playing cricket is music to my ears. Now, how would you rate your year going into the draft? Because obviously at the start it was phenomenal and you really ended, particularly the televised games, the country superbly and really showcased it. How have you found your draft year?
Yeah, I've been relatively happy with it. Obviously, there's a few things that I'd like to go back and fix up if I could, but it's nothing that I'm going to dwell on. But yeah, I've been happy with it. I've felt that it's been relatively consistent, and that was one of my goals leading into the year, just to try and be as consistent as I can. And then yeah, I think that last month of the year, coming back to the Stingrays and joining back with them after the APS season, it's probably been my best month of footy. So yeah, that's probably what I'm most happy with was the last month, and yeah, but overall the season was probably a success for me, both personally and we did have some team success with Caulfield in the APS comp, and then obviously with the Stingrays, we probably exceeded some people's expectations with going that far, and then with Vic Country, we just fell short. But yeah, overall, it's been a pretty good success.
I mean, it was really good as well. That last game that you touched on there as well. I mean, it's probably the best game to be good at because we do see genuinely with the draftees, if you perform well in the last month, there's a lot of hype. And I have noticed with you, you're probably not getting enough hype, I think. I think you're one of the most underrated players going in because your last month, like you say, has really stood out and you've been named one of the best on ground for all of them. How
Mm.
do you deal with maybe the disappointment of not being talked about, but also some of the criticisms from the pundits? How does that affect you being so young and being new to it, really?
Oh yeah, obviously it's hard at times not to read into the criticism, but yeah, I try not to buy too much into it and just focus on my game and go off the feedback that I'm getting from the people and support around me. But obviously with the hype sort of thing, I don't really mind as long as my name's on the radar still with the clubs and the people that matter. I don't really mind what the media's got to say, as long as I'm still impressing the people that matter. But yeah, it doesn't really affect me too much, and yeah, I just try to not to buy into the criticism too much.
Mate, I love that. And how would you describe your game style? Obviously, we've talked about you a lot on this show. We see you as a winger who can get forward, who finds a lot of the ball. You're like the modern day winger that you actually find the ball. You don't just have 10 disposals.
Yeah.
How do you describe yourself?
Yeah, obviously I base my game around my running capacity and my yeah, my drive on the outside. Obviously a majority of my work is done on the outside, but also I love driving the ball inside 50 and yeah, really getting the ball moving forward for us and just using my running to run on the outside and just yeah, hopefully every now and then can hit the scoreboard as well and accumulate the ball.
And how has the AFL chats, you touched on feedback from people important, how has that been chatting to AFL clubs? I'd imagine that is such a daunting experience. You're kind of selling yourself to 18 strangers, particularly at the combine.
Yeah, yeah, it is a bit daunting at times, especially the first couple of ones that when they come to your house and stuff, not knowing what's going to happen. But yeah, they're all very good people, and they make it pretty easy to settle into, and you can just be yourself around them. Is that and that's all they really are looking for, to see what sort of person you are. So yeah, but it is daunting at times, especially because you want to sell yourself the best you can. But yeah, I feel like that it's been pretty good, and yeah, I think hopefully they do like the meetings with me, and yeah, we'll soon see.
Mate, we will do. We've only got 48 hours to that second day, so we'll soon
Yeah,
find out. But with the when you speak to draftees, they talk quite a lot about, obviously going through them levels and playing at the high level. You speak to the AFL footballers, and they talk about state football, particularly VFL to AFL. The step up is dramatic. Speaking to a few VFL footballers, they almost describe AFL as a different game in the speed and the skill. Do you notice that when you're playing for your school versus playing for Dandenong versus playing for country? Is there a noticeable skill gap and speed?
yeah, I think like you said, the APS level and Stingrays NAB league level is probably they're a bit different game styles. The APS level's more all the contested players sort of come out to play, and more like inside sort of work, and not as much free flowing as what it is in NAB league. But NAB league and national level is probably a bit similar. It's more free flowing and stuff. But yeah, the national level is a whole nother step up with the pace of the ball's moving around, and just you have so much less time with the ball, and yeah, it's another step up. But I feel that it's been good, and it's really helped me with if I do get that opportunity to go to the AFL level, that it's going to help me with moving into the next sort of pace, yeah, next level of the pace.
Well, we are starting to see a development that wingmen are getting a bit of love now, particularly like with Carl Amon and Ed Langdon being massive parts of their club. And it's all about spread. So that's what you bring. So that must be really exciting for you coming into this draft to see that that's kind of the new way that AFL's going. Get it away from the contest, get the spread. And that's where you excel, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's where I think I do my best work, is when I'm holding my shape and let the inside mids do their work, and I'm going to be there for them to feed it out to me, and yeah, get it driving forward.
And with the going through all the age levels, have you found anything that you've added to your game day prep? Is there something that you've found this year particularly that's really helped you go up a level?
I think just like doing some work in like the sort of mindfulness and yeah, that side of the game. Just trying to be as relaxed as I can, and being able to not dwell on things or mistakes during the game. Just be able to move on quickly from when I do make a mistake is something that's really helped my game, and I feel that I can move on from those mistakes and perform it the best I can for the next time I get the opportunity.
Mate, I love that. And the mindfulness, like reading a lot, like going to something I understand, golf, there's a lot of visualization that goes into pre-game. I know Ronaldo spends a lot of time visualizing free kicks and things like that. Is that something that you do as well? Like you have 5 minutes before the game and visualize what you're going to do and try and get yourself in that headspace?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's more. I more just try to relax myself. But yeah, sometimes I do try to visualize how the game's going to play out, and I probably play the game in my head 1,000 times before it happens, just to try and get myself in the groove of things. And yeah, I think that if when I'm in my best headspace is when I probably play my best. So yeah, I think that does help a little bit.
That's a fantastic insight for us watching at home because obviously for a lot of us, we just think you've got out of bed and you just go and kick a footy. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yes.
Now you're in that wonderful pick range. You're scheduled to go like that 20s, early 30s, and there's a few interstate clubs there. Have you had the time to think that maybe this time next week you're going to be interstate? How does that make you feel? And are you excited about that opportunity?
Yeah, obviously it does cross your mind a little bit, and it's a bit daunting at times to think about. But yeah, if it did arise and if it did happen, I'd be pretty excited for it. It's a big move, but yeah, it would be really exciting to a new thing in your life, and yeah, it would help you grow up a bit, so and mature a bit in that sort of sense. But yeah, if it did arise, I'd be pretty excited for it.
Mate, that's You got to look at it as an opportunity. It's a huge opportunity for someone so young and a very exciting one as well, I imagine.
Yes.
Now, you've played with some greats of this draft, obviously playing at national level. Is there anyone that stands out that you think, hang about, how is he not talked about a little more?
Yeah, I think one of my close mates, Mitsiba, I think he's probably one of the most consistent players this year. Um, he didn't really have too many bad games, even through the APS level and NAB League level. Obviously, he got COVID before that prelim, so it was pretty hard to come back and be at his best. But I think that yeah, he definitely deserves to be spoken about a bit more. And yeah, if a club does pick him up, which I'm sure they will, they're going to have a pretty good one with him.
Mate, everyone at home do a bit of research. I think we have done a draft profile on young Mitch as well, so
Yeah,
check that out and watch a bit of highlights of him. And
yeah.
Jackson's given him a big bill up. Now, if we were going to go and Google you, Jackson, what game stands out for you that really showcases your abilities so we can get to know you a bit more?
I think that last national game is probably the one that I'm most happy with. I was able to find the ball a little bit and hit the scoreboard, and I felt that I used the ball the best I have all year. So yeah, I feel that last game was probably my best.
You were sensational that game as well because there was a lot of eyes on it because we got to see pretty much all the top 10 almost in that game, and
Yeah,
you really did stand out.
thank you. Cheers.
Now, who's been the biggest influence on your career? Who's been like the go-to, and who's really driven you to reach this level of being on the eve of being drafted?
Yeah. So long term, it's been my dad. Yeah, he's really driven me to be the player I am now, and really driven me to work as hard as I have. And yeah, he's always the one that drives me around everywhere and everything like that. And then, but just like over the last couple of years since moving into the Stingrays program, Nick Cox has probably been the biggest one for me. He's really been a mentor over the last couple of years, and yeah, he's really driven me to be the person and player I am today. So yeah, those two are probably the ones that stick out.
Who was the one who got rid of your dreads? I was watching some videos from you at Berwick, and you had like almost little dreadlocks going
Uh,
on.
yeah, that was back in the day, but yeah, once I started to grow up, I realised that it wasn't a good look.
You had that Gear and Mears type thing going on. I think we should bring it
Yeah,
back.
yeah, no, I don't know. I might maybe in the future.
Now, I see a Tigers scarf behind you. I'm assuming that they're your team for the next 24 hours. Obviously, that'll change if you're not drafted by Tigers.
Yeah, they have been a mad Richmond supporter all my life, so I'd love to go there if I did get there. But yeah, been able to enjoy some success over the last couple of years.
As a Carlton fan, I'm very envious. I'm very envious. Is there a player from the Tigers that you watch and you've tried to steal some things from? You watch a lot of highlights of?
Just like when I started to play a little bit forward at the start of the year, I like to watch Kane Lambert play a bit. The way he gets up and down the ground with his work rate and everything, and he does hurt you on the way back in the attack. But on the wing, I like the way Cameron McIntosh runs, and yeah, he's a really good runner. So yeah, I try to model my game a little bit on him as well. But yeah,
Two guys that are incredibly consistent as well and
yeah,
incredibly underrated to Richmond's game style, especially McIntosh. Don't get the
yes, yeah,
kudos.
yeah, I agree. He is very good.
As a Carlton fan, I've seen a lot of McIntosh. Does my head in. I've got to be honest. Does. Now, going into the future, let's say we're in an elimination final. We're 2 goals down. They've just kicked a goal. We're at the centre bounce. What are we going to see from you to get us over the line?
I just yeah, just trying to do my best to get my hands on the ball and yeah, just try to get it moving forward and hopefully give us the best chance to yeah, kick a goal and then go again and yeah, just try to do my best to get the hands on the ball and get it moving forward.
Are we going to see a running bounce goal?
I don't know if it did arise. I hope so. Hope so.
In them situations, do you take, if there's the opportunity, do you just take it? If there's like a minute to go on the clock, you're running in, packed square, do you just put your foot through it and just fingers crossed it goes through and you're a hero?
Yeah, I'd back my ability to hopefully try and get that done. But yeah, if it did arise, I'd back myself to try and get it done.
We need to see more wingers run in, bounce the
Yeah.
ball, and kick it. It's what the AFL fans need to see.
Yes, I agree.
And I've got a magic wand. We're 15 years' time. We're doing this interview. You've retired. How would you like the fans to remember Jackson Binns as a footballer? What would you like to be said about you?
Yeah, just the ultimate team man. I think just someone that looks to hunt for team success and yeah, just hopefully someone that's if I'm just a role player, I'm more than happy with that. I don't have to be the superstar. Just play my role for the team and hopefully find some team success with a flag or something like that. So yeah.
Mate, I love that. It's a good answer. That I like that. That's spot on. Well, with final footy related question, you're the list manager. Where do you think Jackson Binns deserves to go? Where, based on your talent and your potential, what pick do you think's a fair pick for you?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. I haven't looked too deep into that, but just speaking with like my manager and things like that, I think, and coaches and that, I think, hopefully anywhere from about 25 onwards, I think is probably relatively around the mark, and hopefully it does arise somewhere around there to make the night a little less stressful. But yeah, anywhere from there on, and anywhere if it does happen, yeah, I'll be absolutely stoked.
Mate, I think I speak for everyone who's watched you that 25 could be a little bit of a sneaky bargain for a man of your capabilities.
Thank you. Cheers.
Now we end with some questions to get to know you. Now, posters on the wall. Who did you have as a kid? Who was on the posters in the bedroom?
Always like Dustin Martin and Trent Cotchin and Jack Riewoldt and that growing up. Yeah, they were really the main ones. But yeah,
Bit of Dusty, bit of Tigers balance there. I like it.
yeah.
Now, what's the most bizarre food you've tried?
Oh, I'm a very picky eater. I don't really eat anything that's not stock standard. So I don't actually know. Yeah, I haven't really had anything that's bizarre because if I don't like the look of it, I don't normally try it.
What's the worst food to look at then?
I don't like avocado, the green. Um, Sort of, yeah, it just turns me off a bit of like the color and the texture of it. I don't really like it.
I don't trust anything you can spread. That's a solid.
Yeah,
I'm with you. My wife loves avocado. I don't know how you put a fruit and it turns into butter and you put it on there. I think it's gross. I'm with you.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not a fan of it.
it's not something you see in England. It doesn't have
Oh,
enough gravy in it.
yeah, it's good.
Now, personal theme song. What song gets you going in the dressing room? What pumps you up? What song do you go to?
I don't know. Yeah, just anything. Sometimes like at school, I did play the music for the boys, but yeah, it's just sort of we just sort of whatever anyone's feeling. I like my Drake, and that seems to get everyone up and about. And yeah, and there's a few things on SoundCloud, but nothing that springs to my head straight away. But yeah, it's just whatever the boys are feeling to try and get them up and about.
Mate, the Drake curse. You've got to be careful of that. If he's pictured with you, you lose.
Yeah, true.
Now, what Christmas round the corner or a few weeks away? What's the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Christmas is around cricket season, so I used to always get like cricket bats and like some cricket gear. But yeah, I think something like that, just or even like a new phone, something like that is probably something that's been pretty good, or a holiday along the way. So yeah, those sort of presents stick out to me.
Wait, what cricket bat sticks out? We've always had our favourite cricket bat. What's one that you always
Um,
remember?
the Kookaburra Ghost I've always had.
Ah, mate, that is such an Aussie answer as well. Like
Yeah.
me and Ollie Hollands were talking about it, and I went like the most pom thing, a GM bat. It's the most.
Oh yeah.
Every English person will have a GM, and Aussies will go with a Kookaburra. I love it.
Yeah.
Have you got a guilty pleasure on Netflix? Is there something that you like to smash out and chill out and watch?
I'm a big fan of Prison Break. It's been taken off Netflix now, but yeah, when it was on Netflix, I was a massive fan of Prison Break.
What a class! That's a classic. That I tell you, that's
Yeah, it's
mate,
a very
great
fun.
little binge show that.
Yes.
And finally, is there any fictional character, someone in a TV show, movie, or cartoon that you'd swap places with? Who do you think would be quite fun to be?
Adam Sandler, I think. I love a few of his movies, and I always, if I'm just got nothing to do, I'll look for a movie that he's in. He's a very funny bloke. So yeah, and I think his life would be pretty good. So him.
Mate, tell you what a good rainy day movie Adam Sandler is. Happy Gilmore, things like that. They
Yeah,
are brilliant, just trash movies to watch.
yeah.
No, mate, I love it. Well, I mean, we wish you all the best of luck from the channel here at Pobby and Oz. We've talked about you a bit, and we're super stoked. We'd love you to fall to Carlton's second pick, and you
Hopefully.
see what Vossi's talked about. He's hinted he wants outside run and big engines, but wherever you go, we're going to be behind you, my friend, and we can't wait to see you tear up the AFL.
No worries. Thanks for that. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Best of luck, and we'll hopefully see your name in 48 hours in big lights.
No worries. Thanks for that.